You're watching Coaching After Dark with Auntie Aisha, CA, Reese, and Coach Kim. We're the morning show for night shifters. Hey, night shifters.
Hey, night shifters. Here we are again on Coaching After Dark, the morning show for night shifters. It has been a whirlwind of a season. Wouldn't you say, Auntie Aisha?
Yes, it has.
Our summer started out great, and I don't think we have not once yet this summer done a show with all of us.
No.
Well, night shifters, as you can see, you have myself, Coach Kim, the fabulous Auntie Aisha, and CA has taken the family to SeaWorld this weekend, and Reese is still on vacation.
Where in the world is Reese? That's
Yes, that's what the world wants to know. So we're trying out things as we try to advance the show a little bit. How do you like our background? Oh, did I disappear? There I am.
There you are.
So we have the world. But next episode, hopefully we can all have the Coaching After Dark background filter for everybody. But anyway, Auntie Aisha and I have another special episode for you. You know, the past 2 weeks, she and I covered Florida law, and we talked about permitless carry a little bit. We talked about the Carlisha Hood situation, and we got some thoughts from Duval County's State Deputy Director, Prosecuting Attorney for Human Rights. His perspective and how he really feels about Governor DeSantis. So if you... We're sorry. We will be on demand pretty soon as Isha and I can figure out the whole technology thing. But Auntie Aisha, would you like to let our viewers know what we will be highlighting for the next couple of weeks?
No.
Okay.
You're so much better at that than me, Kim. I'll let you do that.
Oh my goodness. And you know how good Auntie Aisha does everything.
Yes.
So Auntie and Aisha and I have been taking a few field trips. It's, summertime, and we live in Florida. And the beauty of living in Florida is that you get to travel in a day and come back home to see sites that a lot of people have to take planes to go see. So we took a day, and Auntie Aisha got me up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. We went from Jacksonville to Gainesville to Cedar Key to Rosewood and back home again. Yep, we did all of that in the day. We were home by 4:30?
Yeah.
So one of that living in Florida.
Yes.
Really want to talk about is the different stops along the way, and we will be showing you guys some highlights and footage that we took along the way. So 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, Aisha, was it easy for you?
So listen, the fact that we were going to this particular destination, which we haven't named yet, but we'll get there. I was like a kid the night before Christmas.
Oh.
And I knew Santa was coming. So I was up out of my bed getting ready at 5:15 that morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was ready. I was ready to hit road.
Till the alarm went off at 6 o'clock. And the first thing I did was I sent Aisha a text because I wanted to make sure she was up. Because if she wasn't up, if she would not have responded, I was going back to bed. But I texted her and told her, okay, I'm up. I'll see you in 2 hours.
Yeah.
And with the like or love or whatever we do on the iPhone. And I was like, okay, she's up. I guess we're going.
We're going.
But it was a really good trip. I am going to share with you guys some footage of me actually getting ready. Aisha, did you take any footage getting ready?
I did not take any footage of me getting ready because I'm just not as good of a podcaster as you are. You are just the podcaster of the year.
Well, you know what? I'm going to take that, but you are. Good morning, night shifters.
I woke up like this. So Isha has me up at 6 on a Saturday. We are going exploring into a sinkhole. It should be a natural habitat for a tropical rainforest. I'm trying to get it together. Night shifters, those of you that really know me, you know that I am not a morning person. So let me get myself together, and I'll see y'all back in a few. Let's see what adventures are in store for us today. Okay, Auntie Aisha, this one's for you.
So let me tell you what you need. You need a refresher, what's more refreshing than me? Body like a glass, motion flowing like the sea. Who could love you deeper or vaster than me? Or make it the liquid love, slurp it up when you watch. Please remake me your focus and your scope and study me. If you feel like being thorough after brushing up on me, I'll hug your neck with both my arms and squeeze until your spirit's free. Sitting here together, both our backs against the wall, staring at each other, tears are falling to the floor. So recently I thought you had emotionally evolved, but it's back to the basics, break out the chalk. Sitting here together, both our backs against the wall. Do you wanna break the silence with the thought? So recently I thought you could reciprocate love, but it's back to the basics, break out the chalkboard. Anything you learn.
One last final preparation. Shout out to my girl Stacy, the Sweet Naturals, Holistics, Neighbors,
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper
Insect
is the fast
Repellent,
and easy way
all
to clean your
natural.
floors with ultra
I get
thick
everything
pads
from
that
Sweet
trap and
Naturals.
mud dust before it gets
Thank
in
you,
the air.
Stacy. We're about to go head out into the world.
So
Okay.
posted a couple of weeks ago this sinkhole that's located here in Florida.
Yes.
And she's like, this is on my vision board. Who wants to go with me? Well,
Who's coming?
who's coming? Me. This was before I knew it was at 6 o'clock in the morning. Me.
Right.
So Isha, tell us what drew you to wanting to go to this sinkhole.
Okay. So, so as the viewers know, I am Auntie Aisha, the spiritual coach, and nature is a huge part of my life. Like it's how I ground. It's how I stay sane, really, in this crazy world. And when I learned about, we're gonna go ahead and release the name. Are we going there? Are we taking the cat out of the bag? Okay.
I wanted you to have the honors.
Okay, good. So when I learned about Devil's Millhoppers Geological State Park and realized that there was a place in Florida where basically the earth opened and inside of exactly, and that I could go and walk on a staircase and stand above this massive 500 feet wide, 120 foot deep sinkhole, I knew that's where I needed to be.
She knew.
Like it was just like no question. And I knew it was going to be a spiritual encounter because I would have an opportunity to be close to Mother Earth and see her in all of her glory and just see how amazing Earth could really be. You know, I mean, it's amazing just from this level, but this is seeing it from a whole different perspective. And Kim, I think you can, I think you'll agree with me that seeing it and experiencing it moved you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's beautiful there. So I guess without further ado, we'll show you the clip. But if you haven't figured it out by now, Night Shifters, the next couple of episodes, the series with Auntie Aisha and I is just going to be things you can do when you live in Florida, you know, just summer sightings to see. So, and the first one is, as Aisha said, Devil Millhoppers Geological State Park in Gainesville, Florida. So, okay, Mav, roll it. night shifters, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed our view of Devil Mill Hoppers. So Auntie Isha, I
Yes.
know I know we have to get to the weekly reading, but before we do, uh, any last summaries for the viewers regarding Devil's Mill Hoppers?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, let's
Um,
get to the weekly reading.
yes, exactly. So just a little bit of background. I'll make it quick.
Mhm.
So Devil's Mill Hopper, it happened because the limestone under the earth collapsed, right? So all of the limestone collapsed, earth opened up, created this beautiful sinkhole. And in this creation, life continued to happen all around it. So as you descend down these 132 steps, because that's how many steps we walked, girlfriend.
Yes, we did.
132 down and 132 up.
Down and up.
So as you are descending down, you have an opportunity to see how life finds a way, because there's these amazing waterfalls, ancient old trees that were uprooted during the formation of this sinkhole have now created little small ecosystems. The oh my God, the plants, the animals, even, and I'm afraid of spiders, but the webs that we saw,
Oh my word, yes.
it was just, if you ever a person who, you know how some people say, I can't meditate because my mind just keeps running, you know, all these intrusive thoughts keep happening, go to Devil's Mill Hopper. That is something that will shock you into being present.
You know what? That's true.
That's
true. And I'm sorry for all the movement, night shifters. I'm trying to plug up my phone because it's about to go dead. So I'm sorry if I'm distracting anyone. Don't look at me. Focus on Auntie Isha.
Yes. And I couldn't help but also think about all of the indigenous people of Florida. You know, just, you know, anytime I'm in these state parks and we're away from all the hustle and bustle of life, and there's no McDonald's sign, there's no KFC sign, there's no tall building, you get back to remembering that this land truly belonged to a group of people that had an amazing dynasty before any European colonization took place. So it connects you to them and it makes you remember them and to just bring them into today's consciousness and remember them.
Very well said. Very well.
Yes. It was very emotional and very beautiful. I loved it.
And night shifters, we're going to take a break. And when we get back, Auntie Isha will have this week's weekly reading. We'll be right back. All right, night shifters, welcome back. Once again, it's Isha and I doing a quick city tour where we hop up on a Saturday morning and we drive to different locations that are within range from where we are, which is Duval, Jacksonville, Florida, for those of y'all that don't know. But before we move on to the next highlighted city, Auntie Isha, what is our weekly reading?
Okay, night shifters. This weekly reading is amazing. So I'm gonna just look over a little bit because my card's over here, y'all, just to refresh my memory. So listen. This is the most beautiful reading I've pulled in a couple of weeks. Like it's so beautiful. So I know a lot of my people are afraid of snakes. So please bear with me because when I pulled these cards, the only thing I could hear in my mind was, this is the week of the serpent, because this is about shedding old skin. This is all about renewal. That those old beliefs are shedding off And underneath is your new, beautiful, luxurious new skin, and you are shining bright like a diamond. You are getting rid of old beliefs that no longer work for you. You are moving forward, renewing yourself, having new amazing ideas, and it is time for action.
Woo!
Do not let this pass you by. This is not, you know how sometimes people say another opportunity will come. Don't look at it like this. This feeling that you have this week, consider this a once in a lifetime feeling. That's how strong it is.
Wow.
That's how amazing this portal that's happening for us right now. That's how strong it is. Take it, move. That inner critic that has been in your head for a long time, silence it. Tell that inner critic, no more. I'm not listening to you anymore. And you're going to learn to be your authentic self. So I'm so excited for you guys. I'm excited for myself because I'm also a part of this reading. And I can't wait to see what this week brings for me.
I love it.
Yes. Yes.
But anyway, night shifters, we're going to travel along. So you came along with us to Gainesville at the state park. And now we all hopped back in our cars and got started and traveling down the road. And this time our next stop was the beautiful island of Cedar Key. Yeah. So for those that are not familiar, Florida has lots of islands around it, and they're called keys. Many of you have heard of Key West. That's a key. There's Siesta Key. There's Cedar Key. There's several islands around Florida, and they're called the Florida Keys. So this particular key is the closest one to us here in Jacksonville. So we hopped on a car and we drove over to an island.
Yes.
So is population, I want to say 420, if that. I could be wrong, but I know it's very, very small. And on this island, there are all kinds of museums and art stores and restaurants, of course. There's they have their own beach, and we just had a ball. So this was Auntie Aisha's first time there.
Yes.
So upon setting foot on Cedar Key, what was your first impression?
Oh, I'm in a Hallmark movie.
Oh.
Like,
yes, it's beautiful.
I was like, oh my God. This is like out of a book. This isn't real. The dolphins were just like playing, like, hey y'all, welcome to Cedar Keys. The buildings were just these, it just looked like this. It looks like it belongs in a little globe, a little Florida globe.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like that. It absolutely does. It's like visiting the town of Mayberry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all island theme. The people were super nice. Now, one thing I will say, because, our following is mostly Black. Hey, y'all. But Cedar Key is mostly white. But and they're mostly Trump supporters out there. But everyone's super nice. We had a great time. And the main reason for the visit, two things. One, Cedar Key Historical Museum is a must-see. You learn so much in there. Not so much African-American history, but you do learn about how we played a part in the building up of Cedar Key, and not so much in a slave type of way.
Yes.
And the restaurants, because they're all oceanfront. So you're sitting there and you're watching the view and eating this fantastic food.
Yes. Yes.
So without further ado, here are a couple of clips from our visit to Cedar Key. We'll be right back. Take a look.
My spirit is healing, been bleeding pink for a while. Need captures my ear dewy eyes of a crocodile. Come a little closer, I summon, I don't divine. No pray over my shoulder with the haze profile. King Midas, I'm like Medusa, my stature will get you statuesque. In me, there's no care, strip your burdens off till your spirit's bare. I will be your bed, shed your shirt and pant where your shadow is. Shake them off your ankles, babe, free your feet and unshackle them. I'm in the bazaar, no God begging Abraham. Penny for my pilgrimage, barefooting it through Bethlehem. Trekking through the desert where the wise men walk. Do you hear God? In the garden tree limb watching Adam deny since he's committed and perjured to place fault. Betrayal from his lips is a hymn and I belly dance. Do you hear God?
All right, night shifters, welcome back. So we started out, Auntie Aisha and I started out with our trek through a sinkhole, which has now been the home to a beautiful tropical rainforest right here in Florida. And believe it or not, it really wasn't that hot. That's one thing we forgot to mention when we talked about that. It wasn't hot, but it was about the size of your hand. But that's another story. From the sinkhole, we traveled on over to Cedar Key and got to experience the island life. We visited the Cedar Key Historical Museum. We visited Steamer's restaurant. I forget what it's called, but I know it's Steamer's.
Steamers, yeah.
And that's a beautiful oceanfront restaurant with some great food, live music. And as we were leaving, we were all singing Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. Hopped in our cars again, and we caravanned on down from Cedar Key to Rosewood, which is about another 10 miles. So for Rosewood, of course, we have to get a little bit more serious, a little bit more somber, because it's a totally different energy than the first two that we experienced. For those of you that are not familiar, please research the Rosewood Massacre or just Rosewood, Florida. You don't even have to put in massacre. But Rosewood, Florida was an all-Black community. In its heyday, it had 450 residents of Black-owned businesses. This is where the Black-owned, I don't want to call it a settlement because it was more like a city or a town at that time. And unfortunately, it drew too much attention from the wrong people, and it was burned down by the Klansmen of that day. A whole city burned down, and there were only 9 survivors. Am I correct, Isha?
I believe so. 6 or 9 survivors, something like that, yeah.
Out of the whole ordeal. So all properties gone, land gone, families gone, people gone. And the only thing that's there right now, and this is thanks to Governor Bush, Jeb Bush, I think.
Jeb Bush, yes.
He created a memorial and made a historic landmark on this one little plot of land, which we will show you in our little video clip. And this plot of land with the sign that tells the story of Rosewood, people have come to use it as an altar, so to speak, and they lay books and flowers and plants and just things to honor those that lost their lives in this fire. As you can see, that was a heavy moment for not only Auntie Aisha and I, but also those that were with us. And I have to give a huge shout out to our traveling group, Miss Shar, Miss Lauren, Mr. Vance, and Coop, and then of course the two of us. So
don't forget Zion.
Zion, well, that's Sparkles. She stayed in the wood, but she was with us all day.
Yes. I look straight back, and I don't know. I think all of our viewers know by now, but I'm a seer. And as soon as I look back, I saw this precious little kid peeping from behind the tree to see who we were, still hiding.
Wow.
And I'm not a person who has a concrete answer for you of what that is. Is that a ghost? is that energy just still left behind and that person has went on? I don't know. All I can tell you is that when I looked, I saw a little kid.
Mhm.
And then after acknowledging that kid, I saw more kids.
Mhm.
And then I saw older people. So this was obviously an area where they put the kids and the elderly to try to get them to safety.
Mhm.
And then Charlene said she saw kids too.
Mhm.
So then it was like, okay, well, this ain't just a figment of our imagination. We can't both be seeing the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
And then Coop, our historian of the group, explained to us that this was the way they traveled to get to the train for safety. So
Yeah.
that's why that was such a hot spot.
Well, night shifters, that has been Auntie Aisha and I's summer experience so far. We have more things planned. Well, I should say Aisha is probably planning something else. And we would love to continue showing you our great state of Florida as we can. But we may even go some other places too. Who knows? You never know.
Wow.
All right, night shifters, that concludes our summer episode. If CA and Reese continue to leave Isha and I on our own, there's no telling what you'll see next. Night shifters, have fun, enjoy your summer, and be safe, and walk out backwards.
That's right. Bye, y'all.
You're watching Coaching After Dark with Auntie Aisha, CA, Reese, and Coach Kim. We're the morning show for night shifters. Hey, night shifters.